Have you ever wondered why some people pick up English effortlessly, while others struggle for years without making real progress? The answer might shock you because it has nothing to do with talent or intelligence. In fact, the most successful English learners are doing something completely different from what traditional language schools teach. And today I'm going to reveal exactly what that is. My name is Eddie, and after teaching English to over 10,000 students from 40 different countries, I've discovered patterns that will revolutionize how you think about language learning. What I'm about to share with you goes against everything you've been told about studying English, but the results speak for themselves. Students who apply these methods see dramatic improvements in just weeks, not years. Let me start with a story that changed everything for me. 3 years ago, I had 2 students who started learning English on the exact same day. Maria was from Brazil, and Kim was from South Korea. They had identical backgrounds, similar ages, and even the same learning materials. But 6 months later, something incredible happened. Maria was confidently speaking with native speakers, watching movies without subtitles, and even started dating someone who only spoke English. Meanwhile, Kim was still struggling with basic conversations and felt completely frustrated with her progress. The difference wasn't talent, it wasn't time invested. Both students practiced for 2 hours every day. The difference was in their approach, and understanding this distinction is going to transform your English journey forever. Here's the first secret that successful English learners know. They focus on input before output. Most people make the critical mistake of trying to speak before they've absorbed enough of the language. It's like trying to write a song before you've ever heard music. Your brain needs massive amounts of English input before it can naturally produce correct sentences. Think about how babies learn their first language. They spend an entire year just listening before they say their first word. Then they listen for another year before forming complete sentences. Yet adults expect to start speaking English correctly after just a few grammar lessons. This backwards approach is why so many people get stuck in beginner hell for years. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all input is created equal. Maria, my successful student, discovered something powerful. She stopped studying English and started living with it instead. Every morning, she'd listen to English podcasts while making breakfast. During her commute, she'd play English audiobooks. Even her phone's language settings were switched to English. This constant exposure created something called passive acquisition. Her brain started recognizing English patterns naturally, without conscious effort. Meanwhile, Kim was spending her 2 hours sitting at a desk with grammar books, trying to memorize rules that felt completely disconnected from real communication. The second game-changing principle is emotional connection. Your brain remembers information that triggers emotions up to 6 times better than neutral facts. This is why you can remember every word of your favorite song, but struggle to recall yesterday's grammar lesson. Successful English learners tap into this psychological principle by choosing content that genuinely excites them. Maria fell in love with true crime podcasts. She became so invested in the stories that she forgot she was learning English. Her brain was too busy following the mysteries to worry about perfect pronunciation or grammar rules. This emotional engagement created powerful neural pathways that made vocabulary stick effortlessly. Compare that to traditional textbook exercises about imaginary characters in boring situations. When was the last time you felt genuinely excited about reading dialogue between person A and person B at a restaurant? Your brain treats this artificial content as unimportant information and promptly forgets it. Now here's something that might surprise you. The third secret involves making strategic mistakes. Yes, you heard that right. Successful English learners embrace errors as learning accelerators rather than signs of failure. They understand that every mistake contains valuable feedback about what their brain hasn't internalized yet. Maria started recording herself speaking English for just 5 minutes every day. Not to create perfect content, but to identify patterns in her errors. She noticed she consistently dropped articles like the and a when speaking quickly. Instead of getting frustrated, she turned this into a game. She'd watch English videos and specifically listen for how native speakers used articles naturally in conversation. Most learners avoid speaking because they're terrified of making mistakes. This perfectionist mindset creates a vicious cycle where fear prevents practice, which prevents improvement, which reinforces the fear. Breaking this cycle requires a fundamental shift in how you view errors. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. Nobody expects to stay perfectly balanced on their first attempt. Falling is part of the process. Each fall teaches your body something new about balance and momentum. The same principle applies to language learning, but somehow adults forget this natural learning process when it comes to English. Before we continue with more secrets, I want to remind you about something important. If you're serious about transforming your English skills, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I share advanced learning strategies every week that you won't find anywhere else, and I'd hate for you to miss content that could accelerate your progress. The fourth secret involves leveraging your existing knowledge strategically. Your native language isn't your enemy in learning English. It's actually a powerful tool when used correctly. Successful learners identify cognates, which are words that sound similar in both languages and often share meanings. Spanish speakers have thousands of cognates with English, like hospital, natural, and telephone. But here's the advanced technique that most people miss. Instead of just recognizing cognates, successful learners use them as anchor points for building larger vocabulary networks. When Maria learned the word natural, she immediately connected it to nature, naturally, unnatural, and supernatural. This created a web of related words that reinforced each other in her memory. The fifth secret is about timing and consistency. Your brain processes new languages most effectively during specific states of consciousness. Recent neuroscience research shows that information absorbed just before sleep gets consolidated into long-term memory during the night. Successful English learners take advantage of this by reviewing new vocabulary or listening to English content during the 30 minutes before bed. Maria started this habit accidentally. She began falling asleep to English audiobooks because they relaxed her. 3 months later, she realized her comprehension had improved dramatically, even though she was often unconscious during the content. Her sleeping brain was still processing the English patterns and rhythms. But consistency matters more than intensity. Studying English for 20 minutes every day creates better results than cramming for 3 hours once a week. Your brain needs regular exposure to maintain and strengthen neural pathways. Think of it like physical exercise. You wouldn't expect to get fit by working out intensively one day and then taking the rest of the week off. The final secret that separates successful learners from everyone else is community integration. Language is fundamentally social, yet most learning happens in isolation. Maria found online communities of English learners and native speakers who shared her interests. She joined Discord servers about true crime, participated in Reddit discussions, and even attended virtual English meets. This social element provided something textbooks never could: authentic context and immediate feedback. When she used a word incorrectly, someone would naturally correct her in the flow of conversation. When she expressed ideas clearly, she received positive reinforcement that motivated continued practice. These communities also exposed her to different accents, slang, and cultural references that formal education typically ignores. Real English includes idioms, regional variations, and cultural contexts that can only be learned through genuine interaction with native speakers and advanced learners. The transformation Maria experienced isn't unique. Thousands of learners worldwide are discovering that traditional methods often create more obstacles than solutions. By focusing on natural input, emotional connection, strategic error-making, knowledge leveraging, optimal timing, and community integration, you can accelerate your English journey beyond what you thought possible. Remember, becoming fluent in English isn't about perfection. It's about connection, communication, and confidence. Start implementing these secrets today, and I guarantee you'll notice improvements within the first month. Your English-speaking future is waiting, and these proven strategies will get you there faster than you ever imagined. If this video helped you understand English learning differently, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my comprehensive English mastery course linked in the description below.